Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Behind the Bar. As always, I'm your host, Timmy Tayo, and today we're going to review very briefly what I would describe as a drab draw in Manchester between the two rivals in the city of Manchester, of course, Manchester City and Man United, a 0-0 draw. Not a lot to discuss from this game, honestly. I almost fell asleep a couple times watching the game, just a lack of excitement, a lack of chances, one or two moments, but really not much to discuss, unfortunately. Of course, it was Kevin De Bruyne's last Manchester derby after he announced that he would be leaving Manchester City at the end of the season. I think overall, looking at the game, I think United were solid defensively, which I think over the past few weeks, we've been defensively strong, but the same problems persist, right? Good defensively, good in midfield, and when the ball gets into the final third, the team just lacks that final pass, that final shot, that moment of magic to get the ball in the net. And against a weakened City team without Erling Haaland, an opportunity to do the double over Manchester City, we just couldn't take our chances. And it's a similar story that we're seeing in the Premier League, at least. Similar situation to Forest last week, where a very good all-round performance, and we just couldn't find the goal. And the same theme in this game, with decent play. I think, again, the defense, the midfield, very strong. Still seeing Garnacho on the left. He did have an improved performance today, but again, I think Amorim needs to help him out with playing him on the right. But it looks like Amorim is kind of just getting the players fitness, giving minutes here and there, all in preparation for what is our biggest game of the season this coming Thursday against Lyon in the Europa League. And I think we might as well just get right to that, right? Because like I said, the Manchester Derby was probably one of the worst derbies that I've watched in over 10, 15 years that I can remember. Just not a lot to talk about. And so what more exciting than a Europa League Quarter final against Olympique Lyonnais in our biggest game of the season, hands down. And so I want to get right into that because I think there's a lot of excitement going into that game, a crucial tie in the first of two legs. And judging by the substitutions that we saw today and the lineup that we saw today, I think looking at the back, of course, Onana is going to take his place. Good to see Bayern there make the bench. He hasn't played a game now in over, 3 months. So I think it's safe to say that Onana is going to keep his place. With Harry Maguire coming off early in the second half in the derby, I think it's safe to say that he's going to start. Of course, we know that Matthias de Ligt didn't pass a late fitness test and was missing from the game. Hopefully he's fit enough to make the bench. But I like what Harry Maguire brings to the team defensively. We know aerially he's strong. We know that he likes the big switch to find the wing back, and he brings a lot offensively and defensively to the team. So I think we'll see Maguire in the center back position. I think Mazraoui will take his place as the right center back. And then Liniero, who has been impressive since coming back from injury. I like the way that he drives the ball out from the back and certainly playing with a lot of confidence right now. And I expect that back three that started against City to start against Lyon on Thursday. And the wing backs, I think we're going to see the same again with Diogo Dalot on the right and Patrick Dorgu on the left. Dorgu didn't have his best game today against Man City. He got into a lot of good positions coming on that left wing back, but synonymous with the rest of the team, that final pass, that final shot, just left a lot to be desired. And hopefully he can find his crossing and shooting boots come Thursday, because if he's going to have the type of space and opportunities that he had against City, he definitely has to do better. So Dorgu and Dalot And then in the pivots, I think Mano Wate is certainly a shoe-in. I've been so impressed with Casemiro over these last few weeks. I looked at the numbers from the game against City, the most tackles, covered so much ground, kept his passes simple. Dare I say a renaissance performance here from Casemiro. Of course, not the Casemiro that we saw from the first season, but very close to it. And I imagine that he's going to start in this game, in the biggest game of the season. I heard Amorim talking about how Casemiro has progressed, has sort of adhered his game to the instructions that Amorim has given him, and he's taken that on board, and he's doing the things that Amorim has asked. And so I would imagine that Amorim is going to want to put his best team out in what is his biggest game so far as Man United coach. So similar to today's game, I think we'll see Casemiro and Wate in the center of the pitch in the two pivots. In the 10s, this is where we might see some changes. We've seen Garnacho on the left in the last two games not be as effective. And I think Garnacho on the bench is going to be a good option. I think he has the ability to come on and change the game, come on and add that pace, come on and stretch the field and against tired legs. And so I think Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes are going to be the two 10s that start in this game against Lyon. Like I said, Amorim has to put his best team out. And I think when you're looking at those two 10 positions, I think naturally Mason Mount and Bruno are probably the most natural 10s in the team. And in your biggest game of the season, you want to put your best team. I can't say that enough. So I think we're going to see Mason Mount make his first start since coming back from injury alongside Bruno Fernandes, which will really give us a lot of energy in the middle of the park against a very physical Lyon. And up top, I think we'll see Rasmus Højlund with Xerxes on the bench. Again, I think bringing Xerxes and Garnacho off the bench are great options to have. Over the last few weeks, we really haven't had the options off the bench. So I think having those two players on the bench would be a good wild card for Amorim to change the game if needed. But we have to go with our strongest 11. And I do believe that is the strongest 11 that's available to Amorim right now with the players in the squad. So that would be my predicted lineup. I'll be going for a 2-1 win to Manchester United in this first leg. I think Lyon are a formidable team. I think they will pose a lot of issues. Like I said, they're very physical. They have a lot of talent, a lot of speed. This will probably look similar to a Premier League game in terms of the physicality, the speed. One that I think will suit United. And with the players that we have back, with the momentum that we've been building, yes, we're coming off of a loss and a draw. But we conceded just one goal in the last two games against teams in the top 5 in the Premier League. And so I think defensively we're going into this game feeling good, feeling positive. It's just offensively, which is why I think you start your best players, especially in the 10s, where the creativity comes from. And that's why I think Mason Mount and Bruno have a huge role to play with being able to break the lines and feed Højlund with opportunities. And we know that Højlund has played his best football in the Europa League. And so having those two players behind him who are pass first, I think will bode well for his chances. And I predict that Højlund is going to get a goal in this game and that we will win the game either 2-1 or 1-0. A narrow victory, but a victory nonetheless. So looking forward to this fixture. I think every United fan is pinning their entire season on this game. And if we can make it past Lyon, then I think we can start to dream about lifting a trophy in what's been a horrific season. So much still to play for, and it all starts with this game on Thursday against Lyon. So that's it for me today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one after the game. Cheers.